Good morning. This here episode is brought to you by Miller's Country Store, Highway 73 in Buffalo, Missouri, 65622. Pecan Bobby Bits be my favorite. As you can see, I've darn near demolished this whole back here. Here's two for you. Yum, yum. Y'all come see us now. Here. People, as you can see, I have tagged a couple folks on this post I've made. One that makes me so sad, because I haven't been able to get any help. And you know, when you've got something like this on your mind, 24/7, 365, it can eat your lunch. And yes, we are, I guess, gonna be having to deal with that. I guess that may be the way to calm that down a while. And I meant to put on here, let me pause a moment and do that, then I'll come back. Okay, it took me a few because I'm not a professional typist, and when I did take it at State Fair Community College in Sedalia, Missouri, I didn't do all that well, like 13 words a minute, because when everyone else was taking typing and other clerical skills like shorthand and whatever else in high school, I'm not certain right now what I was doing, but probably an art class. You know, I didn't want to, I wasn't going to be a cleric of any, I wasn't going to be a secretary. Are you kidding me? Chained to a desk, are you kidding me? That would not have made me a happy person. Okay, it takes a special type. Ask one of my cousins. She did really well in that area, but I'm not that. So, okay, here's my thing. Peeps, I'll read it out loud. Do you want to go to where my mom, in order to get a visit with this step thing in foster care, had to go so far as to get an order from Mel Carnahan to be able to do so? Now let's whirl it right there, okay? Why would she have to get an order from Mel Carnahan? Does everybody else have to do that? I have no idea. I was just so bowled over the entire time. I'm still trying to get my eyeballs to settle down in my head and see straight to the problem. That's why I keep skirting. I'll get there eventually. Yeah, eventually. We got 3 more years left of this 25-year sentence, but eventually I will get there. And that's because part of the time I've been blocked. I have not been met with a lot of help in this at all. Very little understanding, in fact. But back to this comment. She did. My mom jumped through that hoop. I don't know why they wanted to treat Mom that way. I really don't. Because I really don't. And during, well, not this visit, but that visit, Mom was asked by Miss Step Thing, yeah, I'm getting kind of alecky here, aren't I, about my finances. She asked, my mom told me these things after the visit. She wanted to know, does Veronica have any money for me? Like I had money for her. I barely had money for myself. Her mom squandered hers by giving it over to that commune guy, Livingston. And then whined. I did a little bit of video about that too. But back to this comment. if I had anything like money for her. And at the end, Mom told her no. I better answer that before I continue because I didn't in the comment itself. She says, no. She barely, she just gets a disability. Because I was on, the veterans income, but whatever. Excuse me. Mom told her, now if you want to see me again and my son, just tell the social worker. And Mom said, the girl, looked at her and said real hatefully, well, why would I want to do that? And Mom said she replied by asking, what did I ever do to you? See, Mom was always real nice to her. Took her to church, took her to dinner, took her to the cabin, took her camping, gave her little Avon stuff, like her Avon poodle that she can't even go there right now. Raped herself. What's the word? Implementation. Raped herself via implementation with that Avon poodle and named the poodle Dad. And Dad got the blame for it. This is Dad over here. See, sitting together. We were at a post office dinner with my mom and Dad because I was a member of the auxiliary, and my mom at that time was the president of the ladies' auxiliary of the letter carriers in Sedalia, Missouri. Well, let's get back to this comment. What did I ever do to you was what my mom asked, and the girl stated, I don't know yet. What? And there's a social worker, Mom said, sitting in the room taking notes on a pad. I bet we don't see that on there. What do you want to bet me? Yet? What did she mean? She didn't know yet. That was the question that plagued us from thereafter. Mom later told me that after that, she just sort of held her breath, waiting for the girl to have time to manufacture some other thing. She never did, that I know of. So you see, this is the kind of craziness and insanity heaped on someone who's already got problems. They started gaslighting me back in the 70s and harassing me visually or audibly and physically, verbally. For one thing, it'd be about my hair, the redhead. Is it red down there? Then a little later, it was about the breasts. And then a little later, it was about other sex-connected things. And then it was, oh, you're insane, you're insane, you're insane, you're insane, you're insane, you're a nut, you're a fry brain. And that came in part from at least one of the people. I don't know about both of them for sure. I'd sure hate to think so, because I went to church with her. That became foster parents, treating me that way, gaslighting me, to the point of driving me as far as they could, and still remain as if they were innocent. I really can't imagine someone having to go the length to, at the time, bother someone like Mel Carnahan to get permission to have a visit with a foster kid. What is up with that? There's something up with that. Because I have never heard of anybody else having to do something like that. And I watched a lot of those videos about foster care abuse, child protective services abuse, family services abuse, whatever you want to call it, social worker injustices, and I have never once heard any of those parents mention, or or a grandparent, that they had to get permission from someone at their state capital to have a visit with their step thing. That's a totally new one on me. Totally new one on me. Because of course my son was curious. This hit him with as much of a brick as it hit me in the head. All of a sudden, kid doesn't have a daddy to hang around with at the house or to work out in the yard with. And my mom got so fed up with those people. And she always told me, she said, Veronica, just stay as calm as you can. Just stay calm. Let me handle this. So as you knew from another video, I had begun to take her to these sessions they ordered to have with me. Until that one, after the locks on the door incident, where we did what they told us to do, they were approved by Don Waterfield, who was a social worker, who is now dead. And then they came at me with a court order to appear, a summons, about the locks on the doors. And I went, and they wanted to lock me up for 2 years in prison for having the very locks on my doors that they had ordered me to put there, and John to put there, and send another social worker over there to approve them. So that's another first on me. I've never heard that story coming from anybody else. And in watching these horror stories from the child protective sector, that's what you want to call it. Some people have chosen to call it the child prostitution sector, because that's basically what it boils down to. I've not heard it from any of them, and I've watched many hours of videos put on by people who had found the same that we had found, that those people are rotten to the core of their soul. They are rotten inside and out, and the very few who do come out and tell their story and blow the whistle are a precious few. And I can name one right now, that Carlos, he wrote a book. I can't even think, I'm so sorry. And then another one who had been a foster mom. Very, very, very precious few that quit there and decide to blow the whistle. So, I'm going to cut this right now. I'm sitting here shaking, so